Good morning. Under Section 194, 1A of the Municipal Government Act, Revised Statutes of Alberta 2000, Chapter M26, the Chief Elected Official has called a special council meeting. The special council meeting will be held in person and via teleconference in accordance with Section 199 of the Municipal Government Act. The special council meeting will commence at 9:30 a.m. Under Section 194.4 of the MGA, a special council meeting may be held with less than 24 hours notice to all councillors and without notice to the public if at least 2/3 of the whole council agrees to this in writing before the beginning of the meeting. The reason for the meeting is a discussion on the process improvement for non-complex planning applications. And the second item that will be considered during the meeting is scheduling a public hearing for bylaw 2023-22 on October 17th of 2023 at 11 a.m. in Wheatland County Council chambers. All readings for the bylaw will be considered in a regular council meeting just to help facilitate maximum council participation. So all we'll be doing today is starting the discussion about the non-complex applications and scheduling the public hearing. Discussion will be limited to those two agenda items once the agenda is approved. Please note the meeting is being recorded and may be uploaded to our website and or social media. To eliminate background noise, please mute your phone during the meeting. We ask all attendees to mute their devices to reduce disruptions to the meeting. Everyone has a right to be present at council meetings. Any attendees that are considered disruptive to the progression of this meeting may be removed at the discretion of the chair as per the MGA Section 198. And we will be doing a roll call vote for all motions during the meeting because we do have a hybrid participation. We'll just start with a roll call. Reeve Link is present. Deputy Reeve Clausen.
I'm here.
Councillor Laprise. I'm here. Councillor Bigger.
Here.
Councillor Eichert.
Here.
Councillor Kester.
Here.
And Councillor Laursen. Councillor Laursen had indicated that he would be away and would not be available for meetings this week. We will start with a discussion on non-complex planning applications. Good morning. Oh, we should approve an agenda. So the agenda would just be composed of the two items under the circulation of notice of special meeting that all of you saw. Councillor Kester, it's just the two reasons that I verbalized during the opening of the meeting. Looking for a motion to approve?
I'll move the agenda as presented.
Deputy Reeve Clausen has moved. Any questions or discussion? I'll call the question. Reeve Link is in favor. Deputy Reeve Clausen.
In favor.
Councillor Laprise. In favor. Councillor Bigger.
In favor.
Councillor Eichert.
In favor.
Councillor Kester.
In favor.
Motion is carried. Good morning.
Good morning, Council. Sherry Bars with Administration to present a proposal for a potential improvement to the public hearing and bylaw reading process with respect to planning bylaws. The current process considers first readings separately from the public hearing and second and third readings. However, this can be simplified to streamline and decrease application processing timelines for non-complicated applications. This is particularly significant at the moment as an amendment to the Direct Control District DC7 is required in order to allow further development within the Lakes of Muirfield. Considering all three readings during one council meeting would allow a proposed amendment to the direct control bylaw to be approved as early as October 17th. Section 692(1) of the MGA requires that a public hearing is held before giving second reading to a planning bylaw. However, it does not require first reading to be given prior to the public hearing. Additionally, MGA Section 187(4) states that a proposed bylaw must not have more than 2 readings at a council meeting unless the councillors present unanimously agree to consider third reading. This is also reflected in the county's procedural bylaw 2018-19, section 11(7)(b)(5). As such, all 3 readings could be considered at a single council meeting on the date of the hearing, provided that permission to hear reading is granted unanimously. In order to hold a public hearing prior to first reading, council would proceed with the hearing as per the current process. Then once the public hearing is closed, council would consider 4 resolutions as shown on pages 1 and 2 of the report. The first resolution would be to move first reading of the bylaw. The second resolution would be to move second reading of the bylaw. The third resolution would be to grant permission to hold third and final reading of the bylaw. And if it passes unanimously, fourth resolution to move third reading of the bylaw would be made. It is important to note that voting in favor of considering third reading does not constitute endorsement of the proposed bylaw. Rather, a councillor who opposes a proposed bylaw may vote against it for first and second reading, then vote in favor of considering the third reading, and then return to voting against the bylaw for third reading. In the event that a unanimous approval to consider third reading is not provided, the bylaw would need to be brought back at a future council meeting for third reading. This change in process would assist in a current land use redesignation application, which proposes to update cells for development within the Lakes of Muirfield. Subdivision approval for phases 1 and 2 were granted in 2006 and 2007, respectively. Phase 1 is near completion, and development of Phase 2 is underway. Phase 2 consists of 3 development cells, which is shown here. I have it on the overhead, which is also in the map set. It has cells 2, 3, and 9. Cell 2 is located along St. Andrew's Close, provides low to medium density residential development in the form of semi-detached dwellings. Cell 3, located along Counts Close, provides country residential development on lots ranging in size from ½ acre to 1 acre. Cell 9, which is located along Muirfield Crescent and St. Andrew's Way and into future Phase 3, provides future single-family residential development once build-out of Cell 1 has been closely reached or at 90%. Cell 9 was not permitted to proceed until 90% of the Cell 1 was completed, and in order to ensure this, Cell 9 did not list any permitted or discretionary uses, including dwellings. To allow for single-family residential development to proceed in Cell 9, an amendment to the direct control district is required. To date, we've processed 5 development permits issued in error within Cell 9, and in order to allow development to proceed, administration is proposing to amend Appendix A of the development map found in the direct control district to redesignate a portion of the lands from Cell 9 to Cell 1, as shown on the overhead above or in your map set, in accordance with the Lakes of Muirfield Area Structure Plan. Any additional permit applications received will be put on hold until the direct control bylaw has been amended. Considering all 3 readings for amending Direct Control 7 in one council meeting would allow development within Cell 9 in Phase 2 to be addressed as early as October 17th, 2023. As indicated, this aligns with the requirements of the Municipal Government Act and the county's procedural bylaw. Additionally, this may be used for other planning applications in the future as deemed appropriate by council. That concludes my presentation. I'm available for any questions.
Any questions?
Just one. On the map there, the interior one with the, I'll just call it the triangle on the inside of the canal there, that's part of the cell change, but there's no services to those lots yet, correct? So by doing this change, we're not asking someone to put the services in or anything like that. Like, I know the mains are there, but the individual lot services aren't.
Through council to, through the chair to council, that's correct. We are putting it in to allow development when the servicing comes in, but because they're subdivision, those lots are already created at a set, as in Cell 1, we have deemed it was appropriate to make it from Cell 9 to Cell 1. The future Phase 3, we allow flexibility for any future lot size changes because that's not defined at this time.
Okay.
Any other questions, either with the proposed change to how we would approach non-complex amendments or developments, or with the proposed RFD?
So I got a question for administration. are you, is administration looking, like, if I was a builder, because we've sold these lots. And if I was a builder, I would be trying to get my basements in before freeze up. So are we working on, are we going ahead and doing work that, so that they can do these basements and just not get permission to dig them until the 17th? Because what I worry about is, if there's somebody that says on the 17th that we're not gonna get full and unanimous, then we're gonna push it back another couple of weeks before they can get permission, and that's starting to get pretty late in the year. So are we working with the developers to, so that they can be in the ground on October 18th?
Through the Reeve to Council, yes, we're working with them. We have one or two pending development permit applications that have to go through all of the architectural controls and the DP approval process. So what we're willing to do, and we've discussed, is that we'll accept their building permit application. We assign it a DP number, and then it'll go straight to our third-party inspection service agency to start processing the building permit, which is at this time taking 2 to 3 weeks to issue a BP, so it gives them time to, during this period that we're working to schedule the public hearing and the first readings on October 17th, we'll be processing their applications.
Thank you. It's very, that's, I mean, it's a tough, it's tough enough being in the business and then having, you know, having the county throw up this unintentional roadblock, and I understand that. And the fact that we're going out of our way to do it, I really appreciate that.
If there's no other questions, council's wishes.
I'll make the motion that a public hearing for bylaw 2023-22 be scheduled for October 17th, 2023 at 11 a.m. in Wheatland County Council Chambers.
Any questions or discussion on the motion? I'll call the question. A roll call vote. Reeve Link is in favor. Deputy Reeve Clausen.
In favor.
Councillor Laprise. In favor. Councillor Bigger. In favor. Councillor Eichert.
In favor?
Councillor Kester.
In favor.
Motion is carried. Thank you to administration for bringing this forward. And that brings us to the conclusion of our agenda. Meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.